Loktar Ogar, my champions, it is I, Hellcream, and I'm joined by a very special man under the name of Slappy SC. I think that's right.
Hey, how's it go?
Hello. Today, we had Legion last week. We'll be doing a general discussion on probably our least favourite expansion so far, and everyone's least favourite expansion so far, give or take, Warlords of Draenor.
But it has orcs in it.
But it has lots of orcs in it.
I thought you guys liked orcs.
You guys like orcs, right? Here you go. It's like, listen, we played vanilla. We weren't a fan. Yeah, shut up. You just take the fucking orcs. Like just tons of smoke faces. Yes, too many orcs, too many raids. But one raid in particular, we'll kick this off with Hellfire Citadel. Made its grand appearance in the Burning Crusade. With lots of orcs in, but now they're different orcs. They're
demon orcs.
They're different. Guys, they're different orcs. It's a different expansion. Yeah, thanks Blizzard, real great. Yes. So with the Hellfire Orcs, Gul'dan likes to flood the place with his demonic I can't even say it. Aberrations. Is that how it's said?
Yeah, and tentacles.
And tentacles. Don't forget the tentacles. Literally just screwing the place. Yeah. And Big Blue Boy Archimonde as well. Now, I didn't know this till today. The Slappy's actually told me that something in the Mythic difficulty that really sort of blew my mind. I didn't know because I didn't look at it. So, go ahead, just give us like a general discussion of the entire fight for the people who haven't done it.
Alright, so as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure if the LFR version is released, but in every other version besides Mythic, believe you go to the Void phase and or not the Void phase, the Nether phase, and you do some things in that, and then you come out of the Nether phase, and then you beat him, and then he does this thing on Draenor. I'm sure you've all seen the cinematic does this thing with Gul'dan, but in Mythic mode, you kill him actually in the Nether, and it's been a lot of controversy recently with the whole demons and the Nether thing. It's like, can you actually kill him outside the Nether? But in the Mythic mode, you actually kill him in the Nether. So it's a question: is he actually dead or not? And is that the real Archimonde, which Blizzard has been kind of going back and forth a lot on recently?
Yeah, this is a bit of a funny one, because we were talking about it earlier, that when most bosses are killed within, quotes, the heroic mode or the mythic mode, it's considered true, lore-wise. Thinking back to the Twilight raids, you kill Sinestra, Sinestra's dead. From then on, she is dead. So that's just one example on there. And then we have to think about now, is Archimonde actually destroyed? In the game, we killed him in the Nether, but, you know, in the cinematic, we take him back to Draenor and his eyes just puff out and off he goes. So it's a bit of a 50-50 catch. I mean, what would be your speculation on it? Do you think he's actually dead and gone, or...?
I mean, besides the lore, I would have to think that he would be dead, because, I mean, we fought him twice already. In-game, I don't know if they're going to ever make him fight again, and if he ever does come back, I don't think he's ever going to come back in the form of a raid, or at least by himself, maybe during, like, the very, very last raid of WoW, if that ever happens. If, like, Sargeras is the last boss, maybe he'll be one of the bosses in here, or maybe you fight him with Sargeras, since he is his right-hand man, but, I personally think he would be dead. I don't think they did it by accident, that, oh, we just killed him in the Nether. I think they'd have to put that there specifically for a reason.
Do you think it would be possible that maybe he doesn't come back as Archimonde himself? Perhaps he comes back as, God, this is going to be a long shot. I mean, we saw within the Hellfire Citadel raid, Sophrafar the Eternal, he's put inside this revenant, this voice or revenant that houses his soul. Do you think we might see in the future perhaps Sargeras is pissed it killed Jaden and Archimonde, and he's like, you two guys get in this fucking behemoth now and off you go, sort of thing? Would you think that could be anything that could continue on?
Now that you mention it, probably. I at the same time, we fought him twice, but on the other hand, he is like the the right hand man of the entire Legion. So I don't think Sargeras will let him off the hook. I'm not even sure if Sargeras is still leading the Legion or it's still Kill Jaden in his place right now.
Yeah, this is also another thing. We just know he's there, I think. I mean, the soul of Sargeras was like sucked up into. Well, he was already inside the Guardian, and then as he was starting to form, that's when they killed him. Now, I'm not sure what sort of effect that would have, how badly back that would set him, but it's so,
Well, everything in this game is a setback. So.
Everything, yeah, oh my god, fucking, I know, right?
Thanks, Kalthus.
Thanks, Kelphus, thanks, Illidan. I was trying to say to my friend the other day, you know, every single person in the Burning Crusades pretty much come back. Gruul, Illidan,
yeah. We had high ratings that expansion, they didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, even the fucking Naga are back, so, you know. Fucking potato, you know? It's a bit of weirdness. But, it's... I'm basing now, I think he's alive, because fucking... I don't get it. Well, Archimonde just wants to go and conquer places by himself? No, Legion listens to both leaders, surely. They don't just, like... If there was any, goddamn... Wrong word completely. If there was any mutiny inside the Legion, they wouldn't follow the two big leaders, would they? They'd either follow one, or one would try and overpower the other. I think Kil'jaeden's still in slumber because the Sunwell literally ripped him apart. Archimonde just walked through a portal summoned by Gul'dan. The Sunwell just must have been absolutely hell. So I think his soul was a lot more damaged. As for Sargeras, I mean, as he was forming, the host died. And seems Sargeras is such a powerful figure. I wonder if we'll see a return of Karazhan and, you know, the spirit still leers there, sort of thing. It's an odd one, but in the, wow, this is an old one going back now. In the assault of the Undercity, there's a, is it Balnazar now? I think it's Balnazar. There's a voice that speaks to him. And it's just read as like whispers in the halls, and it's like, "Oh, you have failed me," sort of thing. If you go and look at the sound files for that, it's actually called Sargeras WAV.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, why would Blizzard just call it Sargeras then?
Yeah.
Was something intended, or you know, was that meant to be, sort of thing?
Yeah, but I mean, the people who make the lore don't necessarily write the names of the WAVs in the sound files, but at the same time, how would they know?
Yeah, it's like, okay, but if you look through all the other files of that, they've got, okay, this is this person here, that's this person here. They why didn't they just write unknown voice? Why would they put his name specifically, sort of thing?
That's true.
So it's a bit of a funky one, like... This is the problem with, quote, the Never, where it's like, are they alive? Are they dead? What's happening? So, in my honest opinion, I don't think he's dead. I mean,
yeah, I think he's gonna come back in some other form.
Yeah, in any way, shape, or form. But I don't think they just like let it slide that easy. I imagine. I mean, yeah, we fucking killed him and stuff, but it was just this sort of like. Oh, I fell over. Oh, puff go in my eyes. That was it, sort of thing. And as we said, we know we have to kill them in the Never.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more of a gameplay thing. I think they really didn't know. I mean, Archimonde's the end guy. What else could you really throw in there to have the ending? Not really a lot. Not a lot.
Not enough to change the cinematic, anyways.
Yeah. Right.
They still want the same idea.
Yeah. Really weird. Well, we'll see in the future. I think that's all we can do. If you have any ideas, leave them down below. Right. Moving on. More crazy big demons and big dudes who we hate. Cho'Gall. And his quote-unquote master. This is a throwback, isn't it?
Yeah.
Highmall. I don't think anyone runs Highmall anymore. God, what a horrible raid that was. It was
Yeah.
just literally thrown in there to be like, this is a dungeon. Okay.
Yeah, we talked earlier about how Ulduar felt very connected and everything felt related well.
Yeah, the story, even
This-
all the stuff around it, like the questing zones around it, even surrounded it. Like, oh, you find out where Tyr, or you don't find out where he's gone. It's like, oh, Tyr's missing. Here's where this watch has gone. They're all on the way to Ulduar. Then you get there and it's all happening. This
Yeah,
one
and
just
then-
sort of.
is you start off in a ring, in a fighting ring that, I mean, the story itself with the fighting ring didn't, I feel like it just didn't make sense.
Yeah,
Everyone's
when
watching
you're
you fight. When he can come down and kill you, he's basically just training you for free. And then after you beat it, they open the gate for you so you can go go destroy some stuff inside.
And cat guy's on the side like, yo, grab me some stones while you're there. Thanks. And it's like, ah, you prick. Right, fine then. So we want to speak about his dialogue. If I'm right, you pulled up the dialogue earlier.
Yeah. Give me a second. I gotta find it back again.
Again, Cho'Gall being a bit of a weirdo. And once again, we're not sure what they're actually saying. We've had numerous retcons before and stuff like this, or a sort of wink that's like, haha, you'll never know. It's like, ah.
Yeah. So when you do I think it's in mythic mode, after you get Imperator Morgok to, I think it's like 10% or something like that, Cho'Gall comes out and pulls the thrall and one-shots him, and you have to fight him, and he has a little bit different mechanics. He doesn't have too much HP though, and after you kill him, Cho'Gall says he comes, and his other head says you could never escape. And one of his abilities, he says, gaze into the abyss, it sees you, it knows. And actually, right now, I just realized that I was reading through old god things, and they're genderless, and everyone refers to them as its. And Cho'Gall just says, it sees you, it knows. So that kind of tips me off that it has something to do with an old god. Whether this is Draenor old god or actually our old gods, I don't know. But I'm not. I don't think it's ever been revealed who he's referring to, and I feel like if he was referring to someone that was super important, they would have almost revealed it by now. So I'm not 100% sure if they just forgot about it and thought it just sounded cool, or they were actually hinting at something bigger.
Well, it's happened before. I mean, one of the biggest ones I goddamn remember, which is absolutely insane. I think it was Yogg-Saron, and he's just like, oh, it awakens, sort of thing, and everyone's like, what awakens? What awakens? And it was just like, everyone's like, yep, there's another Titan. Oh, there's a Titan inside Azeroth, and it's like, no. But in the end, they said like, yeah, it just sounds cool. So. It's a weird one, because this is obviously he's basing this off his void powers, right? We can agree on that, because that's what he's all about. Same thing as Ner'zhul, dark stars, subjugating the Naru, all that sort of thing. Whereas this one, he doesn't know any. He knows about the dark star, but we took care of that before we even got there. So it's not alive. So how does, oh yes, you need to beware of him? It's like, we already taken him out. So who is he on about then?
I have a feeling it has to be someone that's not on Gul'dan's side, because he did the thing where he betrayed Gul'dan and took all the powers for himself. So I don't think it has anything to do with the Legion, because if it had to do with the Legion, Gul'dan would be all for that. But when I think of anyone who opposes the Legion, it could either be Iron Horde, which obviously, Cho'Gall isn't a part of the Iron Horde at all.
No, yeah.
And the Old Gods, which seems the most likely, but I'm not sure if there is Old Gods on Draenor, or if there's Old Gods on every world.
What would you say if Cho'Gall had made premature contact with Archimonde, etc.? I mean, his game, and always has been, is about one-upping Gul'dan. And after seeing through the dark star and all these things, perhaps Archimonde tried to reason with him sort of thing. And he was like, if you go here and get me these Titan artifacts and get me here onto Draenor, then there'll be something in it for you, sort of thing. So maybe that's what it was. I mean, that's one theory anyway. Because after that, Gul'dan's very much on board about getting him in there. So maybe Archimonde went back to him and was like, okay, yeah, that failed. Gul'dan, we love you. Come join us. That's my theory.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. But at the same, well, yeah, because he does have void powers, and it could be just either a temporary alliance thing, where like I'll give you this, you'll do this, and we can just go our own ways. I'm not sure he's actually employed by the Burning Legion at all. Which brings me to another question. When people serve the Burning Legion, do they do so willingly, or are they almost forced into it? I feel like they serve willingly but under threat.
Yeah, it's a bit like a mafia deal, where it's like, you do this for me and then I won't kill you, maybe. And it's like, well, fuck. But some people are very much on board, like Gul'dan. They're like, okay, we'll give you this, and Gul'dan's like, oh, if I do more, will you give me a ton more? And they're like, yeah, I guess we can just kill you at the end. But they're all about screwing people over and just being the biggest badass guy, I guess. And I think that's what pretty much I forgot the Shadow Council. Jeez, I gotta forget that. That's pretty much what the Shadow Council are all about. That's like their whole deal. I mean, that's what Terran Gore did. I mean, think about it now. When he was in Arkandu and he decided to like say, Gul'dan, you're an idiot. How can you not love all this power? But then underneath Arkandu, we see him just like, you know, chilling out in Hellfire. He just appears again, and he's like, oh, I love you, Gul'dan. Maybe Gul'dan's like, aha, well, if I give you some of this fell stuff my masters promised me, and you become extremely powerful, then they can help me more, sort of thing. So,
is that when he became Terran Gorefiend?
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he was. Big purple gumble.
So much he has to change his name behind it.
Yeah, this is what annoyed me. He was originally Terran Gorefiend for me, but as soon as you got into Hellfire, he was just called Gorefiend, wasn't he, pretty much?
No, he was just Terran Gore. There was no Fiend.
Oh, right.
It was Terran like apostrophe Gor, so it wasn't Gore, but then once he found the opportunity, he's like, yes, I've been waiting for this. I'm going to change my name to Gorefiend. Because it sounds cooler. Waiting for it.
That looks so sweet. Everyone's like, yeah, good for you, buddy. Yay, well done for you. Fucking, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, no, I can get behind that. One speculation, definitely 100%, it's happened before. Oh, gods! Oh, I love old gods so goddamn much. Who did he worship in Cataclysm? Enzoth, pretty much Enzoth, wasn't it?
Cho'Gall? Who?
Who was he a big supporter of?
Cho'Gall?
Yeah.
It was... Well, he tried to physically resurrect Cthulhu. I think it might have been Cthulhu. Because in the comics, yeah, he tried, and I believe he failed resurrecting Cthulhu, but it corrupted his body in the process.
Yeah. It's in the Bastion of Twilight he tries to do it, but he's just... I mean, if I read it here, under Cho'Gall's control, the Orcish Twilight's Hammer clan was transformed into a murderous cult obsessed with the old gods and their herald, Deathwing. Extended contact to the Dark Master has hideously warped Cho'Gall's mind and body. It just doesn't... You know, who's the Dark Master? It doesn't tell you. That's the corruption of the old god. Oh yeah, old corruption of the old god. Corrupt people with an old god curse. It's like, who? Which one? Who? What team was he on? I mean, the old god for Cataclysm was Enzoth. That's pretty much given. But like, was that? I mean, Deathwing and Cho'Gall had the same thing to bring back the old gods. So was he all up for them? Maybe in this reality he got back in contact with them. If old gods transcend all realities too. I mean, they say, oh yes, they are neither alive nor dead. They are neither here nor not there, sort of thing. That they are like an existing never. So is it possible that, you know, maybe when he got back out, they were like, ah, yes, this Cho'Gall in this reality is a lot more stronger and powerfuler. Let us contact him, sort of thing. break us out on Draenor, blah blah blah.
I feel like he's not really loyal to anybody because he tried to resurrect Cthulhu at a time, and then during the Bastion of Twilight, it's not sure which old god side he's on. And I hear the term a lot, old god's forces, but in reality, there's like 5 different old gods' forces since they're all against each other. But at the same time, I've never seen them fought per se.
Yes, it's more of a you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, it's a knife that's scratching your back. If one old god got out, I imagine the other prisons would not be able to handle it, and they too would break.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or he'd break them out to cause more chaos.
Yeah,
'cause that's what they feed off.
Yeah, I imagine they're just trying to break the world open, just absolutely annihilate it. For whatever reason, it's never described why. We might learn why in the next one. Fingers crossed.
Or if they finally come up with a reason why. I think they're hiding the reason is they're just slowly trying to think of like what would be a good reason.
They've said, haven't they? They were saying like, oh yes, and now we know why the Legion is so desperate to take Azeroth. It's just like, all right, I'll bite. I'll listen. I'll hear you out. So it's a bit of a funky one, really. So have to see that one. Got a little thing up here by our favourite man, Ian Bates.
Oh.
No. Ian Bates. If you know him, I will give you an internet high five.
Give me 5 seconds.
Don't go, you're cheating. Oh, yeah.
Not Google anybody. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
You were just like...
I was searching the library of my mind.
Oh, yeah, give me 5
Google.
seconds to find out who it is. Oh, I know who he is. It's like, fuck you, I know you game.
You didn't call him by his title.
Red shirt guy.
Exactly.
Yay. Old shirt guy did a really nice one I was reading through at work today. I absolutely loved it. He talks about the Lost Vale and Zoo. Ogres, Arakoa, and mind control. Oh my. This was done in August as well. Last year. Ugh. Has it really been that long? Has it really been?
Unfortunately.
Oh. Yes, he states in the Spies of Iraq there is a small little zone there. You guys must have done your rep grinds there before. It is the Lost Vale of Anzu. No quests mentioning in it, really. I'm pretty sure it does send you down there a little bit. He seems to think there is an old god corruption there, which would not be a surprise as we know that most old gods do exist in multiple realities and multiple places. In Draenor, in Shadowmoon Valley. Not Draenor, Outland rather. God damn it. They're the Alcoa trying to summon an old god there. So it is confirmed they live on different ones here. And immediately upon entering Lost Vale Anzu, my character was given a buff and a debuff, each using a faceless one's icon. They appeared to relate to this thing. And all it is a small little squid, which seems to actually have the design of the of an old one, really. Tiny little squid thing. The creature is called an Amorphic Cognitor, and several wild ones can be seen floating about through the Lost Vale. He says they deeply remind him of the Merciless ones, and they remind him of a Cataclysm one that pretty much did the same one. They mind control you. So explain, Blizzard. It's just like a couple mini old ones breaking out here. Why?
Yeah, and you called it Merciless one. That could be their names because, like the elements, they referred to as what were they referred to as again? Because they aren't. You know what I'm talking about? No. They're referred to not as primals. They're referred to as primals on Outland, but in Draenor.
Oh, Furies.
Yeah, Furies, yeah, they're referred to as Furies. I don't think they're necessarily any different. It's just what the natives called them. I don't think there's any physical difference, and yeah, they could be the Merciless ones for the old gods because I don't know. I don't know if necessarily old god is the title they assume rather than the title they're just given to the people who face them.
Yeah. Inside the Vale are lots of mushrooms, a persistent spore haze, and Apexis Arakoa ruins. At the entrance, they are being combed over by ogre arcane seekers, presumably looking for the Apexis things. Strangely, the ogres are fighting each other. Very weird, 'cause they're on the same team. Aside from themselves, the ogres are locked in combat with a fungal giant, as well as abandoned Arakoa constructs. Past the ogres, a group of Skyridge Arakoa have tunneled into a strange chamber. Based on the design, it appears to be a more intact portion of the Apexis settlement that Vale Anzu once was. It also looks oddly Titan-esque, would not feel out of place in Oldham, and I can definitely see what he means here. The sort of structures that it supports, floating globes, and sort of the design is almost uncanny. So I'm going on the mark here that, yeah, there's some definite old god corruption happening down here, but once again, it's a bit of a funny one. Doesn't really explain. Questing in there doesn't really do anything. Yep, and then he goes on to say basically the rest of the zone is just filled with pale orcs, and not a lot else really. Dear, once again, another loose end.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those recently. Stories that they never necessarily.
It's like a whore. Blizzard's tails are like a whore's hair. It's all over the place. There's split ends. It's unconditioned, and it just keeps getting fucked over by old. I'm gonna stop by now. It's getting worrying. Lots of old guys in there. Old guys keep coming back and bringing back new villains, and just I'm not complaining. I'm just stating fact. Yes, so if anyone has any speculation on that one, that would be absolutely fantastic to hear about that one. Now, what was our third topic? What's
third topic was Archimond, Old Gods, Worlds of Draenor, Old Gods.
Can we talk about my feelings?
I don't know the lore behind that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares behind the lore.
The right way to some girl I messaged on Facebook. She's like, I just want to talk, and I'm like, which book is that?
I don't remember reading that book. I can't be behind.
I can't get. Did Novel make a video on it? No. Alright.
Novel makes a video about his feelings.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about my exes, and you're like, ooh, tender.
Clearly, you've been corrupted by the old gods. Hideously misshapen.
Oh my God. So I was in a tavern, and an old one walked in. What the fuck did you just call me? My girlfriend walked in.
I mean, I could totally imagine him doing something like that because that's a loud truck rock.
Oh, he's adorable. Anyway, well off topic now.
I could totally imagine him doing something like that though, because he did the thing where he read like a verse from 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, he did the whole the steamy romance novel thing, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. Oh god. Right. Shit. What else was there? We wanted to do a general recap of lore that happened throughout Draenor, really, didn't we? Just as like, what the hell? Where are we going now? What's the ending? What's the beginning? So, for those who are doing LFR questing, or you're not all up to date on it, when Gul'dan made the Hellfire Citadel, we liberated Grom and all of Draenor by defeating his awful master, Archimond, who came in and tried to blow up Draenor for reasons unbeknown. Once again, we do not know why we're here, and we think Rathian does have something bigger in mind. So, the next expansion, if you have not seen it, is announced to be Legion. 5 years later, very important to note here, 5 years later, the longest
we need a break.
the longest break we've had so far. 5 years later, we are now getting the big Legion invasion, which they've promised us is the biggest one since the original one.
They said it was bigger than War of the Ancients, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty big, considering it split the entire world apart.
Yeah, pretty much that. And judging how they were also saying to us during the thing that reading the book, I'm not sure if this went over the top or not, they were saying that like a goddamn infernal would barrel out like 6 night elves when anything could happen. And they were like armies of just getting pushed back and forth. That was my view anyway. So at the end of Draenor, the pocket dimension still looks like it's going to remain open into this land, I imagine. And the Legion will now be focusing on our mainline Azeroth on the Tomb of Sargeras. Walls of Draenor is now just like a secure location, or I guess now, lore-wise, we will call upon people like Yrel and Grom for support, which is okay. That's cool. I think what I really need to see now is a book between it. We had War Crimes for Pandaland and Warlords, and that sort of patched a few things together.
Yeah, I think there has to be, especially since the 5-year gap.
Yeah.
There can't be just nothing that goes on in that time.
Yeah. A lot of people on our subreddit were saying that we pull one up. I'm very happy people started bringing this up. What's going to be happening within these 5 years? People saying it's going to start getting fixed. And I'd personally like to see that. I want to see the progression happen inside there. So...
Will Stormwind finally be built?
Yeah, people saying,
Really?
will that ever happen? People, Sylvanas, she's had 5 years to brood on what's been happening. Thank you, Dramamania, for your post there, Sylvanas and Motivations, explaining, in this next one, we've said we're going to see Illyria. We know what happened in War Crimes with Nessa and them, so it's all going to be a bit like up in the air sort of thing. So we want to see a lot more happening. Cordana as well. She's just like rallied herself with the Legion, if I'm correct now. She was pissed off at Khadgar being a child, not understanding what was going on, so she's allied herself there, if I'm right. And Gul'dan's gotten away as well. There's a ton of stories that have just slipped completely in this expansion, which is good. It's just nice that we need to have this sort of wrap up. For you who are in the LFR, you'll probably see it next week. The downing of Archimonde and what happens in the end. I have no idea what Blizzard's plan are for getting it all together. We've been promised the October book. Is it War of the Elements? Is it or something really old? Promised us a book describing how Azeroth came to be, possibly some of the creations. Basically, what happened before human life started existing on Azeroth, really. Really about it. Oh, and Jaina. We've seen her once this expansion. Rathian, Jaina, Sylvanas, and all the people here on Alternative Draenor. We need to know.
Yeah, also, someone in the someone either the subreddit or the main WoW subreddit mentioned that during one of the quests in the legendary quest line, right before Cordana tries to get the ring from you and she made the pentagram with the books she was supposed to burn, you see a little black dragon, little black whelp on top of one of the flags right before you walk into the room, and on the PTR he was actually labeled as Rathian, but in the main one he isn't labeled Rathian, but it's assumed he's Rathian because he does it every time. So everyone guessed that he either went in and spoke with Cordana and either convinced her to join the Legion, which wouldn't make any sense, or in this case the Shadow Council, which I think is technically a part of the Legion, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why he would do that.
Well, I didn't know that. That's the first mention of him I've heard since Admiral Taylor's Garrison.
Yeah, he he didn't have any lines or something like that. It was very subtle. I missed it the first time when I watched a video, but as you walk closer to the tower, and the blacksmith tells you that she was acting a little strange. Yeah, there's a little whelp on top of the flag that flies away. That in the PTR was labeled Wrathion, and it's a little black dragon whelp, so it is in fact Wrathion. This is the only time this expansion that he's, I think, even been mentioned.
Yeah, like
let alone shown.
There.
Yeah, or I mean, besides the garrison thing.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've seen him. Wait, did we see him in the garrisons?
No, it's
Oh, Admiral Taylor's garrison.
Yeah, when he was talking about his guards and how he's paying them off, and then at the same time Wrathion paid him off. So yeah, that was really strange. I'm not exactly sure why Wrathion was there, or it was just like, hey, a little Easter egg, Wrathion still exists, or like he had something to do with Cordana turning evil, and that's almost a question of allegiance, whether Wrathion is still technically on her side. I feel like he always has been on our side, but he knows that he can't just tell us everything, because he wants things to go his way. And if they go his way, we're gonna be fine.
Yeah, this is the very Black Dragonflight thing to do, which is cool. It's understandable. I can get the whole entire ordeal behind it. But of course, he's one of the guys. He's the sort of what's it called? Like a dark hero in that sense. Sort of neutral evil. It's like, I'm gonna save the world, but I do not care how it's done, sort of thing. I mean, his idea of saving the world will be to, like, call the Titans and get it reformed. That's, like, his idea. He's like, well, you guys are corrupted old gods anyway. It's, like, very unjust. Which is fine. You know, can get behind that. But, hey, well, I think we're definitely gonna see this guy in the new one. We have to. In Legion, anyway.
I think he's a really interesting character. I think it's good to have someone who almost feels like he knows what's going on, yet at the same time he's fascinated by it all. He takes great fascination in learning things, it seems.
And that's sweet. It just feels a lot cooler. Right, okay, I do believe we've sort of hit our edge now in the way of wrapping. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dropbox, for letting me know nothing. It's like, Dropbox update. I'm like, oh, thanks. Right. I think now we should really start wrapping it up. So, I'm going to say thank you ever so much to Slappy SC for joining me here. It's always great to have a guest on there. If you want to join, please join. I'm applauding you. It's always good. Yeah, that's... Oh, take a bow. Take a bow. You're the king.
Hit my head on the board. I'll do it anyways. Alright.
You just like hang up the call, mate. Wow. Wow. What the
I feel very honored sitting here in Rufin's spot from last week. Left it nice and warm for me.
I've got to fucking say today, Rufin, if you're listening, happy birthday. Yeah.
Oh, it's his birthday?
Yeah.
What is he, like 70 now?
As old as time itself.
Yeah, the world is 70 years old.
Yeah, happy birthday to him. Everyone give him a good old happy birthday. One of the best guys I've known on this subreddit. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you need to be wary because it is coming soon. It is your next book club. That's right. New one will be coming up very soon, to keep your eyes out on there. I can't remember what book it is. We had The Last Guardian last time, so I imagine it will be... Shit. Damn, I lent it to someone. Ugh, crap. It's in Chronicles of War. This is a riddle. It's the third one in Chronicles of War. It's that one. That's the one that'll be coming up for you guys. If you guys ever want to jump on the show, let me know. Also, take it easy. Have a great weekend. And from me and Slappy, goodbye.
See you.
Is that all? Just like a goodbye?
Wow. Do your dailies, everyone.
Wow. Wow, that is like the most dad thing to say.
Tides of Darkness, that's what you're talking about.
Fuck, yeah, Tides of Darkness. Do that one. It's just like, okay, kids, don't forget to do your dailies. Remember to
It's the only thing I can think of.
Remember to go to Lights Hope every Sunday. It's like, shut up, Dad. No. Don't want to. Gonna go join Illidan. No. Scary. Alright, okay, I'm rambling on. Right, see you guys. Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye.